Okay, hello everyone. I'm Mr. Howard Yu. Today I'm doing a brief revision on the topic of water cycle. I'm doing a screen sharing now. Hopefully you can see my presentation here. This is the PowerPoint slide. Let me know if you can see the screen. Okay, I will do a slideshow from the beginning. Okay, are you able to see the PowerPoint? Okay. Answer, can you? Okay, very good. I see the thumbs up there. Very good. Okay, as you know, this is a typical questions asked commonly in P5 as well as P6, SA1, Prelim, and PSLE. Okay, and so if you have, you actually can refer to my book. I think it's on page 10 or page 9. Okay, this questions actually ask student to explain how water was obtained in the cup from seawater. Okay, I do a brief explanation of this. Basically, there are three things to take note. Whenever you see such questions, right, you need to do three things. Number one, identify the heat source. Okay, as I teach this, you can also annotate if you have the book. If you don't have, you can actually review this recording after I've uploaded on my YouTube channel on One Academy Science. So you can see from here, right, I have indicated a red arrow here. Okay, this represents the heat source from the sun. Okay, as indicated by the red arrows, the heat source from the sun. Okay, next, because the water will gain heat, the seawater. So next thing is during the day, the heat from the sun causes the seawater to gain heat and evaporate. So it will evaporate, right? And then I use the blue arrow to indicate the evaporation. As the temperature drops at night, because this is left overnight, the warmer water vapor lost heat to the cooler inner surface of the plastic sheet. So number two, you identify the cooling agent. In this case is the inner surface of the plastic sheet. Okay, take note of this word here. If I put my cursor here, you must put warmer water vapor. Okay, remember, do not put air. It's warmer water vapor. Okay, later I explain to you why do not put air. There's a difference, okay? Okay, finally, you identify the condensed water. So as the water vapor evaporate, right, it will condense on the inner side here and condense to form tiny water droplets. Okay, finally, because they ask you, explain how water was obtained in the cup. So one final step you mentioned, gravity pulls the water droplets along the downward slope. Okay, the downward slope. Actually, this part, the drawing is not as good as I wanted. Okay, I wanted to draw a downward slope because the stone is actually pressing downwards. So it will form a slight V shape this way. Okay, so this is the collection point. Okay, so I highlight this, I enlarge it bigger to reiterate the point. So during the day, the heat from the sun causes the seawater to gain heat and evaporate. Okay, the heat source. Secondly, the cooling agent. As the temperature drops in the night, the warmer water vapor lost heat to the cooler inner surface of the plastic sheet and condense to form tiny water droplets. So you remember these three steps, okay? Heat source, cooling agent, and how the condensed water is being collected. Gravity pulls the water droplet along the downward slope of the plastic sheet and drip into the cup. Okay, now we examine this student using the same concept, right? Okay, this one you can actually try at home. You open your freezer door and there's this white clouds coming out. So the student is required to explain how white clouds were formed. Okay, as you can see here, this was the original answer given by the student in blue. And then this part in green color was the correction. Okay, this student made actually two serious conceptual mistakes, which I'd like to highlight to you. Okay, what are the two wrong concepts? Okay, number one, you can see he mentioned the cooler air condense. Okay, number one, it cannot be cooler something to condense. Secondly, cannot be cooler air. or it should be warmer water vapor. Okay, why cannot be cooler? Why cannot be air? As I like to explain to you. Okay, one student is coming in. Okay, as you know, in primary 5, you learn, right? Air is a mixture. Okay, air is a mixture. So Anna, I mute you up because I'm doing the recording. Okay, air is a mixture. If you see the cooler air or the warmer air loses heat, right? So if you mention warmer air instead of warmer water vapor, it means that the air will lose heat and form liquid nitrogen and liquid oxygen. Okay, so you take note, should be warmer water vapor. Okay, not air. So cooler air cannot condense. So this one should be warmer water vapor. Okay, warmer water vapor they lost heat, right? And condense on the cooler air from the freezer to form tiny water droplets. So these tiny water droplets actually forms the white clouds. Understand? So once again, the key concepts. The warmer water vapor in the room. Okay, identify the heat source, right? So the warmer water vapor, if you see that I annotate this, you can also draw. The red arrow represents the warmer water vapor from the room with higher temperature. Okay, as they meet the cooler air from the freezer at a lower temperature. So you notice this is a heat source, right? So the warmer water vapor lost heat to what? To the air, the cooler air or air with lower temperature in the freezer, this part, and condense. Can you see? After this, you write and condense immediately to form tiny water droplets, which appear as white clouds. So you learn this method well. Okay, this is actually the topics that are tested for PSLE. And you notice there's some topic, right? This indication here, they were removed in the last 2 years. But this year is very likely PSLE 2022, right? They will resume the testing of all this topic. Okay, resumption of all this topic. So I finished my presentation on this. And those of you who like to find out more, you can enroll into my learning center in the previous slide there. So now I proceed with the doing of the worksheet. So I hope that you understand this basic concept. Just to reiterate this point. Okay, the warmer, you identify the heat source, okay, the cooling agent, and the condensed water vapor. So this is a very typical PSLE questions. Testing student to explain how fresh water can be collected from seawater. And it's good that you learn this survival skill, okay? Because you may be trapped somewhere without any fresh water, and you can use this method, right, to obtain fresh water from seawater. So my sharing, I'll proceed to the worksheet now.